Hi, Anita and Ryan. I just want to share a few thoughts with you on this topic of an open heart and mind, and here's why. In my 20 years plus of working in psychiatry and personal development, I so often came across phrases like the power of the mind, the power of belief, the power of visualization, and whilst all those were highly instrumental in my growth, I heard less about the true value and importance of an open heart and mind. And so I share a few thoughts with you here now, and I'm going to go back to my nursing days because I was really fortunate to have a personal tutor who, amongst other things, he would sit down with me and he would say, Anita, never be afraid to address the tough questions in life, to ask the tough questions in life, and always face it with an open heart and mind. And I remember really wanting to absorb that, take that on board, because it just felt so wise. And yet the reality was it took a while for it to go from my head to my heart. And here's why. Back then and in the years leading up to then, I had this very rigid mindset, a rigid mentality. Things were either right or wrong. They were either black or white, this or that. And there was nothing in between. I was looking at the world through a very narrow scope. And when I stopped to reflect on what that was truly about for me, it occurred to me that by having this mindset, it gave me an internal sense of security, albeit a false one, because I couldn't find the answers I was seeking to a very adverse situation that was playing out in my life at the time. So I had to go on this journey to really open up my heart and my mind. And so, what does that look like? What does it sound like? Well, I'm going to stay in the nursing era with my personal tutor because I recall a conversation I had with him one day whereby he said, Anita, I think you really feel X, Y, and Z about this situation. And I remember responding and saying, no, I don't see it that way. I'm not aware of feeling that. However, you may be seeing or feeling something ahead of time. Because I know when you have somebody quite highly intuitive, as my personal tutor was and is, it's not uncommon for them to see and feel something ahead of time. So that's why I said that. But if you listen to the language of the dialogue I just played out in that scenario, you'll understand that, an open heart and mind is about being authentic and honest about how you're seeing and perceiving something in the moment, how you're feeling. At the same time, acknowledging another perspective or viewpoint as possibly equally or even more valid than your own, without the need to defend yours, without the need to judge theirs. And that's the language that accompanies a truly open heart and mind. And what does that feel like? I mean, for me, it was the difference between going from feeling like I was walking a tightrope, with black and white answers and all the stress and anxiety that accompanied that, to coming out into this big open playing field where suddenly I was seeing different angles, different perspectives, different possibilities, which led to more choices and solutions. And what that did for me was it enabled me to tap into the abundance of life and at the same time develop this thing called resourcefulness. And it was a very liberating feeling. And a couple of things that helped me get there, and this may help you. One was, you really have to get used to the idea of uncertainty, the feeling of uncertainty, and be okay with that. Because once you entertain more than your own opinion, there's an uncertainty that goes with that. And that's all about letting go of the need for your perspective to be the right one, or the only valid one. And the other thing was getting used to the idea of being okay with vulnerability. And vulnerability is a self-esteem issue. It's about being okay in saying, I might be wrong, I might be right, or anything in between. And being okay with that. So have a play with those things. The real value for me of an open heart and mind is the resourcefulness and the abundance that it develops in your life. Being able to see the colours and the hues and the different angles in life. And ultimately, it is about, what experience do you want to have? Do you want to feel that life is like walking a tightrope with all the stress and anxiety that goes with it? Or do you really want to feel like you've come out into this big open playing field and have fun and explore and see the subtle distinctions in life, the different colours and hues, and develop that resourcefulness and abundance en route. And yes, life demands sometimes that we do get things right, but isn't it better to attempt to get those things right from a place of resourcefulness and abundance? So really play with those things in your life, and you may be surprised to see what starts to open up and turn up in your life, as well as how alive you start to feel. So those are my thoughts, and wherever you are today, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.